Hello, I'm Chris. Today I have a few friends here. Jonathan Kong, Mackenzie Chapman, Katy Chapman. We're here to talk about steamed fish. So Jonathan,
Yes.
do you steam fish at home?
Yes, I do. And I love steamed fish because that's one of my favorite dish. And I learned it basically from my mom when I was a teenager. And whether my friend's going to be coming over for dinner, that's one of my dishes that I always make.
So what are some of her secrets that she passed on to you?
The secrets are her ingredients and the freshness of the fish. And she picked the fish from the market, early in the morning, and she cleaned it very well, scaled it. And one of the secret ingredients is putting hot bubbling oil over soy sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
So what goes first?
Well, soy sauce would be the first thing that she put on top of it. But before putting that, it's the onions, green onions, and also the garlic and the ginger. And then you pour the hot oil over it right off the stove after you heat it up.
It sounds a little different in my house. We're gonna have the mom showdown here. No, I'm kidding. Well, first off, it starts with the fish, just like you said. You want to pick the freshest fish. But with my mom and my grandmother, when we would get the fish, it's like, look at the eyes. The eyes have to connect with you and speak to you. It's like, okay, this eye is clear. It's looking at me. I've connected with it.
How about the gills?
Of course, you have to open the gills.
Yeah.
But even when I thought I got the right fish, it still wasn't the right fish. They still had to pick the fish over the fish I picked.
Okay.
So, but the technique is to get a very clear eye, connect with that fish, check the gills, and then you go home and start steaming. And just
Wow.
like your house, we do use ginger, and we use green onion and cilantro. But the thing that we do a little different is we start with a hot pan that's got some salt in it, and it's kind of roasting around in there. And then you have already curled your onions and you've washed the cilantro, so they're damp. They're not completely dry. So you put it in the pan hot with the roasted salt, and it starts to dry out. And once it starts to dry out, that's when you put the oil. And then when the oil goes in, and it just explodes. And that's what you're looking for, exploding oil.
Exploding oil
Yes.
is a means of extracting flavor, isn't it?
It is. It's like it brings out everything. And then to top off that exploding oil, that's when you splash the soy in, and then that's when everything just explodes and flies everywhere. And when you feel those little bits of oil burning you, you know you've done the right job. And then that's when you just quickly pour it over the fish. But the fish has been steamed already, but with slivers of ginger, just like you, and a little bit of cilantro on top. And so once you put that sauce on, it's
Time
so
for dinner.
good.
So you do a lot of traveling in China, and what do they do in China?
So steamed fish is a pretty popular dish no matter where you go in China. So my friends, how they made it, so when I made it like that, because that is my family recipe, they looked at me and said, no, of course that's wrong. And so they taught me how to make it was they slice the fish a little bit. So they steam their fish right beforehand, they slice it, and they shove thin slivers of ginger inside. So as it steams, it has this kind of gingery flavor in it. And then of course the hot bubbling oil is essential, but they will create just a pan of hot bubbling oil and pour that over, put the cilantro and the green onions on the steamed fish, and then put the hot oil over that. So you almost get this crispiness of you almost get fried green onions on top and then crispy skin, and then you put the soy sauce. So the sauce is on the bottom, it never really hits the fish. You have to kind of dip it into the sauce to get that flavor.
Wow, that's really good. Hot oil coming, huh?
Nice. This is the grand.
Oh, yeah.
Fish. Look at that crispy oil on the fish. This is lovely. Thank you so much, Chris.
One of the happiest sounds on earth.